Hello and welcome to the channel Leah Darrow. My name is Patricia. I hope you enjoy and get something out of today's video. If you do, please consider subscribing as well as joining me over on Instagram at Leah Darrow Ministry for more encouragement and content. Apologies for the borderline clickbait title here, but it is a good question to ask. And actually not clickbait because I'm trying to answer it. What is the most important thing in a relationship? Mostly talking about romantic, but friendships and familial relations apply here too. Now, if you're anything like me, you didn't have just one answer right off the bat. You actually had to rattle off several things. I mean, surely there isn't just one trait that trumps everything else. One trait that as long as you have this, nothing else matters. This is true. There are multiple things that are crucial. But there is, I think, one key trait in a relationship that underlines everything else. Without it, all of the green flags you need to see either don't exist or don't matter. Though the reverse is not necessarily true. Having this trait doesn't necessarily mean all the green flags are going to be there. It has to build. So what is it? When I made a list of roughly 5 to 10 characteristics in a relationship that I would deem crucial, at the heart of all of them was one common factor: trust. Trust is the true start to any relationship. You trust someone just enough to talk to them, or trust them enough to give them your number to keep in contact. You trust someone enough to tell them about certain facets of your life. When you get super comfortable with someone and are willing to be even more of your true self with them, the weirdest sides of you, that's because you trust how they will perceive you. Fun story, I was a part of a household at my university, which was their wholesome version of a sorority or fraternity, if you will, called the Daughters of Zion. The Daughters of Zion have 5 pillars, and at the top of those is, you guessed it, trust. The rest in order are abandon, praise, open, and heal. And when you're going through the process of becoming a Daughter of Zion, starting off as an Anawim, then Talitha Kum, now you see why that's so prevalent to me, and then Daughter of Zion, you go through each of these pillars in your process with your big, seeing how they apply to your life and why they are so important, yada yada yada. I think the signs are behind me, the Anawim and Talitha Kum signs. What's truly incredible is how these pillars have played out in my life. Whenever I have started to stray from God, my relationship with Him becomes lazy and starts to wane, and I need to be nurtured back to spiritual health, it always begins with trust. Suddenly, everywhere I go, decorations at Hobby Lobby having scriptures about trust, YouTube videos from Ascension Presents or somewhere else about trusting God, homilies at the Sunday Mass or even daily Mass about trust, putting my music on shuffle and it playing songs about trusting God. I'm not kidding, it always happens. And as I make my way back home and begin to rekindle that relationship with the Lord, it continues through all of the other pillars in that order without fail. Anyway, fun story over, moving on. Now, why do I say trust is what underlines all of the crucial elements of a lasting relationship? Think about it. If you don't trust someone, you probably won't be super comfortable communicating with them. Communication is key. If some of your morals, faith, world, hot topic political views don't line up, yeah, you might start to distrust their decision-making and where their heart is at. You start to distrust where their heart may be at if they have an opposing opinion on a big moral issue. I know plenty have worked through small political differences and it's fine, but I don't recommend it for big issues of morality. Just as an extreme example, if one partner believes abortion is murder and the other partner believes it's just a clump of cells with no meaning, yeah, that's going to end up being a huge issue because they're definitely on different levels of morality and they're going to view a bunch of things outside of that very differently, especially if both claim to be of the same faith. One is not true to the faith. That is just factual. I'm just saying it can become a big problem in terms of romantic relationships where your morals need to be centered and common. Outside of romance, you probably still could be friends or even just acquaintances, but maybe not much more. To be sure, I definitely have friends that I disagree with big moral issues. That's different. Another issue might be you don't find them to be a very responsible person, so you don't trust them with certain tasks or the ability to be independent. If he breaks some boundaries you've set, how can you trust him to respect you? If he's terrible with children and says he hates them, why would you trust that he'd be any different with your own kids? I mean, he might be. That's a legitimate possibility, but probably not a good idea to gamble with that. I'm picky, y'all, okay? It's for good reason. If he acts lazy in his work ethic now, how can you trust him to be a good breadwinner if that's what you want later? Even if you prefer to be the breadwinner when y'all have children, how can you trust he'll have a great work ethic with children? They take a lot of work. These are just some examples, and obviously there is a big difference between I don't trust him to respect me and I don't trust his taste in clothing. You know what I mean? My point is, trust is the start and eventually the center of any lasting relationship. Just like with faith, if I don't trust God, why would I bring my prayer requests to him? It makes sense. If you're dating someone and you don't trust him, how can you be vulnerable with him? How can you continue prospering and fostering a healthy relationship with him? And vice versa if he doesn't trust you. Same thing. Now, trust can be earned. Not as easily as it can be lost, but it can be earned nonetheless. No matter the disagreements I may have with someone, if I trust that their heart is true, that they are genuinely trying to be good, faithful, learn, grow, I know that they will my good and are not toxic, then yeah, the relationship continues. Some stronger than others. And of course, with that, I'm speaking in regard to friendships. In terms of romance, if you both trust each other, you will always be able to reconcile and heal. Because you will fight. You will disagree at some point over something. But that trust is key to repairing and mending any minor or slightly bigger issues. This is also why situations of unfaithfulness are so incredibly heartbreaking. Because unfaithfulness goes to the heart of everything and flat out just breaks the trust that you both had. And now the person that got cheated on is left wondering if they can ever trust their partner again. That's a big deal mess up. Fooled them once, right? Just as a darker example. So yep, that's my answer. The most important thing at the heart and start of a relationship is trust. Trust, I think, is the center that all other green flags that you need to see hinge on. It is the root of and a crucial element needed to foster a strong bond. If you can trust someone a little, that relationship will begin to grow. And if the trust is kept, it gets deeper, takes root, becoming the foundation for a strong, healthy relationship. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know in the comment section down below other ways that you think having trust in a relationship fosters a good and healthy bond. Once again, do consider subscribing as well as checking out my other videos and my content over on Instagram. But that does it for today. God bless.